Hey guys, welcome back to another video, so let's get right to the point. There was a moment where Voldemort finally realized he was going to lose, and then, guess what? He lost. Now I know what many of you may be thinking, but Dean, Voldemort was cocky, arrogant, and overconfident right up until the very end. But I'm here to ask you, was he? The truth is, despite his arrogance, despite his cockiness, despite his overconfidence, he was a very intelligent man, and was well aware of when things weren't exactly going to plan. In fact, Voldemort was so sure of himself that when his situation did become uncertain, it would have been like a very loud red siren flashing in his face saying, "The situation is going wrong." So before we get to analysing this moment, so to speak, let's look at why a situation like this never happened before and almost didn't happen this time round either. Voldemort was an extremely intimidating person. He never lost, he was never defeated, and anyone who came up against him was either beaten or killed. Now, it was pretty much like this for the majority of his life. From a very young age, he was always in command. In the orphanage, for example, he bullied the other kids and actually done a lot worse. In his schooling days, he had a gang of followers who basically worshipped him. So what I'm trying to say is that if people weren't supporting him, they were fearing him. So during the First Wizarding War, he was very close to winning. Well, realistically guys, he had won. Nobody could stop him. The Order of the Phoenix had no way to stop him. The Order was basically on its last legs. It was more a case of damage limitation, a case of slowing the Dark Lord down before accepting the inevitable. In fact, his unexpected downfall from his attempt to kill Harry Potter done the Wizarding world a massive favour. Anyway, everything Voldemort did, every idea he had, every approach he took, it worked. The result of the small fact that he was immortal. He could not die, he could not be killed. He charged at every obstacle, not just believing he'd be victorious, but genuinely knowing he would, and that in itself is pretty powerful. So let's just go into this a little bit deeper. Let's apply that situation to yourself or to me. Have any of you at any point in your lives, may it be in a competition, some sporting event, maybe work, have any of you ever come up against or faced someone with such a fierce mentality? It's as if they know they're going to be victorious before they even start because of their incredible skill set that backs it up. It's quite intimidating. It's like you go up against someone, but you know you're going to lose. This is why Voldemort was so frightening. He was undefeated. He was immortal, so can you blame his arrogance? Can you blame his overconfidence? Put him up against every single wizard and witch who tried to challenge him, being aware of his incredible power, and it's very difficult to argue against the fact that it's gonna affect their confidence. Even after his downfall, he still didn't blame himself. He put his loss of power back in 1981 down to old magic, something that he says he should have foreseen. Now the reason that he did not foresee it was because he didn't pay it much attention. Now he didn't pay it much attention because it was a magic he considered irrelevant, as it's such a difficult magic not only to understand, but it's more difficult to harness. So although he was more cautious with his approach on his second stint in power, he still did not blame himself for what happened that night in 1981. It wasn't a mistake on his part. However, what Voldemort didn't have second time around was a word called secrecy. Nobody knew how to defeat him before, but now Harry Potter could. What's more important is the fact that he knew that Harry knew about the Horcruxes. He also knew Harry was hunting them, and that it was Harry who had destroyed the other Horcruxes. This means that Harry now had the power to strip the Dark Lord of his immortality, and that, my friends, is not good. It's at this point that Voldemort's confidence becomes a bit shaken, and instead of being afraid, he becomes more aggressive, more animated, and more dangerous. Previously, he was hunting Harry while trying to take over the Ministry. Now he deploys all his forces to find Harry. He goes to the school. He threatens death to everyone. Time's up. With all the other Horcruxes destroyed and Nagini now uncomfortably living in a magical bubble in order to protect her, Voldemort knows that he would be mortal once again should she be destroyed and has to strongly consider her safety. Now, guys, this really pisses him off because he doesn't consider anyone but himself, so the fact he has to even deploy this measure does not sit well with him. Bellatrix Lestrange is then killed, which infuriates him, and Nagini, despite all his best efforts to keep her safe, is killed shortly after. Things are not exactly going to plan. It's literally taking this long to kill a boy, and by the time Voldemort becomes mortal once again, he has to take on board that there's a possibility that his life is in danger. But he takes comfort in the fact that he's a better duelist than Harry and a better duelist than most. However, Voldemort still fails to understand that the reason he couldn't kill Harry both times wasn't just because of the power of love, but because of what it takes to acquire the power of love. It was because of the selflessness that Lily showed for Harry and the selflessness that Harry showed for those fighting with him. By willingly walking into the arms of death, proven by refusing to raise his wand, Harry does for everyone what his mother done for him. So if Voldemort tried to harm anyone in the castle, it would immediately backfire on him, something he was still failing to process. Even after losing his powers to the magic of love, he still failed to understand it right up until the end. He knows magic better than most. He knows the feel of a wand and if it resists him, which brings up the question of the wand's loyalty once again. The Elder Wand still didn't feel right even after killing Snape, yet Voldemort still forced it to his will, requiring the heaviest of concentration in order to command his magic through the wand. His overconfidence disallowed him to question something he knew did not feel right. He was in no way confident that his third attempt to kill Harry would be successful. Voldemort never once believed he'd ever be defeated in any manner, but when he doubted the outcome of his final duel with Harry, that was the moment he knew he would lose. So guys, that is my take on the moment that Voldemort knew he was going to lose, but I want to know your take. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, I really appreciate your time and your support, and I will see you all in the very next video. Thank you so much for watching, I truly appreciate your support. Everyone, notifications of uploads are more important than ever, so please, if you haven't already, turn those notifications on to make sure you're notified the moment my video goes live. Making videos is what I love to do, it's my dream and my passion. However, it does cost time and money to produce this content, so if you have $1 to spare to support me on Patreon in exchange for some exclusive unseen content, then you can click the Patreon link below or at the end of this video. Please only support me if you can afford it. And make sure to follow me on Instagram at InstaDNJ and on Twitter at PotterFolklore. Check out my other videos appearing on screen, and please make sure, most importantly, to hit that subscribe button. Thanks again everyone, and please have a great day.